What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show here. We're going to break down February 19th action here for Thursday, moving right along through February. Of course, yours truly here, Vegas Al, ready to break down some of this action. We're going to cover a lot here. Of course, we got NBA back finally. Long enough All-Star break as it was. I did not watch any of the All-Star break festivities. Complete garbage this past weekend. But hey, they're back, and we have some serious action to bet on. Of course, we have college hoops. I'll still discuss that. Not the greatest of college hoop slates. A bunch of mid majors in action tomorrow, kind of on purpose here, right? First NBA game or a day back here. Not a lot of great college basketball action, but we found a few nice spots. And I figured why not touch some of this Europa League, and I'll have a tennis parlay, two parlays there, Europa League and tennis there at the end of the show. But without further ado, let's get into it here. Like and subscribe before we get into this actually here. Link in the description as well. It takes you right over to Tony'sPicks.com where our best bets are. All right, we're going to go Hawks and 76ers here. First bet of the game of the day we'll talk about. I like the 76ers here in this one. 7-3 in their last 10 meetings versus the Hawks. Hawks on a little 3-game losing streak before this All-Star break. Philly expecting max effort out of them here. Again, they lost 2 straight going into the break. I just feel like Philly knows their rotations, knows their sets. Didn't really do much at the trade deadline. I mean, I know they got rid of McCain, but Atlanta's a little bit more mixed match since this trade deadline. Still some continuity concerns. You're going to hear me say that quite often in this episode today. Embiid game time decision. I'm willing to take the Philadelphia 76ers even without him. Philly still will have the rebounding advantage, offensive ratings. All points of Philly, a massive free throw and really shooting number advantage here for the Sixers as well. Sixers here, minus the 120 in this one. We got Nets, Cavaliers, a big number here in this one. Let me get to the injury report in these as well before I forget. That's how I should start off. 1 second. I'm rusty. It's been a while since we've talked about some NBA. Got spoiled a little bit with these small slates. But all right, for the injury report here, Nets, Cavs, really just Claxton for the Nets, Strus for the Cavs. 16.5. We got a big number here, total 230.5. Cleveland, 5 straight wins before the All-Star break. You look, Nets 29th in rebounding, 26th in defensive rating. They're 1-9 in their last 10 meetings versus Cleveland. Cleveland this year, though, 10-19 ATS-wise at home. Nets 12-14 to the number on the road, a little bit better. I just am not interested really in laying anything like this with any team, really. Don't get me wrong, Harden back here with the Cavs now, and Allen and Mobley. There's plenty of pieces to think the Cavs should get this one done. 131, 124 was the first meeting this year. I'm actually just going to lean to an over. You look, 111 points allowed per game here. That's even in this win streak here for Cleveland. And then Nets are scoring 113 as well. So I could expect around 110 out of Brooklyn in this one. And if the Cavs want to cover, that means this game is going to be an over type game. I think over 230.5 is the play in this one. Sounds crazy enough to take it over in a Nets game, but we got Michael Porter Jr. playing, so he should be able to get a nice little 30-piece for us. Harden, Mitchell, big nights out of them. Give me the over, 230.5 here for the Nets and Cavaliers. Next game up, we got Pacers and Wizards. Host of guys on the injury report for both sides here. The main pieces, no Alex Sarr for the Wizards. Siakam or Zubac should be out here, both of them for the Pacers. Again, check your injury reports in the morning, but those guys look right now to be out. Wizards losers of 3 straight going into the break. Pacers, on the other hand, winners of 2 straight. I could argue still both teams tanking. who's more interested in dropping this one? When you look, Pacers in the beginning of the year dominated the Wizards. It was a 119-86 blowout. That was back when I would argue the Pacers still had a little bit of aura. Defending champs early on in the year still blew them out. I don't know. They were still struggling going into that game, actually, as well. But Wizards wound up bouncing back in December, won 10.5-point dogs. They won outright last meeting. It was a big blowout win there for the Wizards as well. So I'm leaning at taking the Wizards to plus the 3.5. I think this one could be much like that first game or the second game, really, between the Wizards and Pacers, in which it was really a first to 100 type game. Under 232.5, there's a play there. Wizards plus 3.5. I just not really interested in touching this tankathon, but have to give you a pick in this one, and that's what I'll go with in that one. All right, let me check the chat out before I get into Rockets and Hornets. We got Sonny. Is this late show and that morning show 7 hours wearing you out? Not really. I'm just a little sick still. I've just been allergies. I'm growing my hair out. That's one thing I'm trying to do. Grow the hair out a little bit. So that's all. Another day for really. So Rockets, Hornets. We'll get to how I did today. It wasn't a bad day. Utah parlay, baby. BYU and those Utah Utes got it done for us. Cannot complain there. We got Rockets and Hornets here in this one. Houston on a 1-6 ATS run as of late last 7 games. Obviously, Charlotte was a nice little run they got on before the break. I know they dropped one there to the Pistons, but 5-2 ATS-wise in their last 7, a lot better than the Houston. And you look, Charlotte actually was victorious there in February, part of that big winning streak there. They won 109-99 versus Houston. I kind of lean the Charlotte Hornets again here, plus the 4.5. I liked maybe a -1.5, -2 with Houston, but again, it's getting up to 4 or 5 points here. I could argue this one comes down to the final bucket. I think still this is a close-knit Hornets squad that should be able to mix and match this roster to replace Diabate and Miles Bridges, 2 suspended players. Keep an eye out on these injury reports. Again, a couple guys on the Hornets, but I still think they can hang tough here. We're playing great basketball. I think they can continue it, if I'm being honest. Hornets not the greatest of front courts, especially losing Adams the rest of the year. KD with his burner account. We all saw this, I don't know, over the All-Star break, if any of you guys saw that news. He's still getting crazy there on that burner account. So then you got the Hornets who are visiting Concaniple's house and having fajitas and a big kumbaya team moment. I'd rather be on the Hornets, the young together squad who maybe a little bit too young and naive to realize that they shouldn't be playing this well right now, and they are. So give me the Hornets plus the 4.5 in this one. Another tough game here, Pistons and Knicks. Obviously, Knicks beat them in the playoffs last year, and the Pistons have just come into this year and whooped up on the Knicks both meetings, looking to make this a series sweep. I don't know. Pistons also playing well, 3 straight wins into the break. One of those was that 118-80 blowout to New York, or against New York. They blew them out. You catch my drift. Stewart and Durant still suspended, but I will argue the Pistons are deep enough to kind of mix and match those front court pieces. Paul Reed comes to mind. Tobias Harris is going to have to step up and play a little bit more of that power forward role, which he can. Plenty of pieces. The front court should be banging here on both sides. I expect a big night out of Cat. This one, I think, come down to the final bucket. I could argue Knicks probably win this one. They're not going to get completely humiliated by Detroit this year, but I don't want to lay 4.5. I know the Knicks ATS-wise, 20-9 ATS-wise at home. Hard to overlook, but against Detroit, it's been a different beast this year. They've just found ways to win, stay competitive. I'm not sleeping on the number 1 team in the East, even though I think the Knicks possibly could be. You look at that they beat Boston. They beat Philly right before the break, but then they step up and play Detroit. They don't take them serious, get waxed. They lose to the Indiana Pacers, another team they just don't take serious. For whatever reason, I could argue the Knicks may not still be taking the Pistons seriously until playoff time. For whatever reason, I mean, they're the 1 seed. At this point, you would wake up and think, maybe we got to take these guys serious. This may be the spot they do so. But like I said, this one I think comes down to the final bucket. To get 4 points in your back pocket with the Pistons, I got to look there. All right, Raptors, Bulls. I would be quick and short with this one. Not looking to bet on Chicago. Even though the Raptors are 1-8, their last 9 games playing in Chicago, straight up. Raptors on the road this year, though, 16-10 to the number. Been making you some money, so that's really where I'm looking. Obviously, another team here with the Bulls that the trade deadline mixed match roster, you don't know what you're going to get. What is Anthony Simmons going to do? He hasn't really stepped up in these couple games with the Bulls. Continuity concerns. Again, injury report wise, Giddey, host of players for the Bulls. Not too many names. Again, Mamakashvili now on the injury report for the Raptors. Check your injury reports, of course. Just looking at this one, early lean to the Raptors here, minus the 5.5. I need a little bit more information again with these injuries for this one. So a few guys game time. So again, do your due diligence there. But early lean to the Raptors there, minus the 5.5. We got Suns, Spurs. We have Spurs here, the 7.5-point favorite. You look, Suns have dominated the Spurs this year. 2 straight wins outright and blowout fashion. I can argue the Suns are getting disrespected again here by the books. 7.5 points. I get it. No Dylan Brooks. He's suspended as well. But Booker, Gillespie, and Allen can definitely compete with Fox, Castle, and Vassell. 2 interesting backcourt matchups or matchup here. We got Suns 35-20 to the number. Very hard to look past. Again, you're catching 7.5 points, and I'm taking them because this could potentially be another game that comes down to the final minute, final bucket type ball game. I want the plus 7.5 in my pocket. Give me the Suns here in this one. We got Magic and Kings. We got 8.5-point favorites here for the Magic on the road. They're 1-9 ATS-wise in their last 10 road games. Magic 21-32 to the number this year as well. Been burning people's money. But Kings are 14 straight losses. 4-10 to the number over that span. Levine, Sabonis now out for the season. DeAndre Hunter, their newest acquisition, he will also be out. It's DeRozan, Monk, and Russ. I'm not really in love with either of those guys compared to what Desmond Bane, Anthony Black, and Jalen Suggs have started to play like. I'm not rushing to lay anything with the Magic, especially in this road spot after I've read those numbers out. But I do think this is one in which the Magic should cover this. It reminds me a lot of that Jazz spot, even though they were at home. More than likely a no bet, forced to play. I'd be on Magic minus the 8.5 in this one. We got Nuggets and Clippers. Final game I'll discuss here NBA-wise. We got Clippers here with no Garland. Of course, Nuggets still with a host of guys on the injury report. Do your due diligence. I'm seeing Watson and Gordon as of right now listed as out. There's other pieces as game times. Nuggets are 7-3 head-to-head last 10 meetings and also 7-3 to the number. 19-10 ATS-wise on the road this year as well have been basically a cash cow here, Nuggets on the road. I could argue the front court is taking a hit with no Zubac now for the Clippers. Brook Lopez, Niederhauser, John Collins is pretty much looking like this front court. They did acquire the new Isaiah Jackson there from the Pacers. I don't know. The guards are deep, though. The Clippers have a lot of guards. I'm not mad at it. Jordan Miller comes to mind. Mathurin, who they just picked up. Garland's out. That's unfortunate. But obviously Kawhi is doing his thing. He could drop 40 on any given night. I don't know. I'm going with a lot of tight, close, contested games here on this first night back. League trying to suck us back into watching these games. They're going to have some tight, competitive ones. Give me the Clippers here, plus the 4.5 at home. have been 10-3 to the number last 13 home games, and you're getting 4.5 points with the Clippers. Sign me up. All right, guys, that's NBA action for you. I just found this guy. I'm just checking it out. Good to see you, Happy Hot Chocolate. Hope you stay. We give picks every day here, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, 12 a.m. midnight. I'm discussing every sport as well, just about. We just got done with the NBA. If you need to rewind, get some of those picks, go for it. But we're going to get into college hoops now. First game I'll talk about, again, not the greatest of slates here. Mid-major action for sure here on Thursday. We got William Mary and Campbell. William Mary, offensive and defensive numbers point to them, all the stats here. 84 points per game, top 10 in pace. If you look, though, Campbell won the first meeting 104-96. This thing was a track meet. I don't know. It's a little bit of the – William Mary is, 8 guys here averaging 7 to 12 points per game. So it's a new guy every night for William and Mary. Meanwhile, for Campbell, DJ Smith scored 39 there in that last meeting versus William Mary. He's leading the team in scoring, 20-something points per game. I could at least say Campbell knows who their go-to guy is. I don't know if William Mary has a go-to guy. That's a little sketchy, but I still think they can get this done. Playing team basketball as opposed to taking bad shots. I mean, you look, true shooting percentage numbers, William Mary's 36th in the country. They will find the best shot. Campbell 160th in the country in true shooting percentage. Another thing I'm looking at here is William Mary is top 10 in the country in assist, team basketball, passing the ball, making sure they find the best possible shot. While Campbell's 288th in the nation in assist, a lot of isolation ball, especially with this kid DJ Smith. Like I said, 39 points last time in that big track meet type game. I don't think he continues that here. I'm not saying he's not going to go get 20, but I think William Mary finds a way to play some team ball, a lot of continuity on the roster. Both teams in the middle of this conference here, 7-7, 6-7 each respectively. William Mary gets their revenge here. Give me the -1.5 here with William and Mary. We got Albany, NJIT. NJIT won the first meeting there back in January, 77-68, and are playing well right now. 6 straight wins. Still having to win ugly, though. Definitely an under team. 330th offensive rated here in the country is NJIT. But they find ways to cover numbers. 17-9 to the number this year? You've just been basically printing money if you've backed NJIT. Albany 3-10 ATS-wise on the road. 8-15 to the number this year in general. I don't want to get on Albany here in this one. Give me NJIT, who's been playing very well right now. Do your line shopping. I've seen 3s. I've seen 2.5s. Maybe even a 3.5 this one may get up to. So, again, NJIT here. Lay it, but do your line shopping. We got Stonehill, New Haven. Both teams here, dreadful scoring numbers between these two, Stonehill and New Haven. 340th or worse here, both of these teams in points per game. Bottom 300 in pace as well. You look, the last meeting was 70-55. Would have gone over this total of 121.5. I'm not going to go to the total, though. I think New Haven's simply the better basketball squad. That's why they got it done by 15+ last time out. Look, 126th in the country in turnovers. I know that's not amazing. When you look, Stonehill 328th in the nation in turnovers, a big reason why they've struggled this year, not protecting the basketball. Give me New Haven here, minus the 2.5 in this one. We got Lemoyne, Central Connecticut. When you look at this one here, Central Connecticut, the 4.5-point favorites, I believe got it done last time versus Lemoyne. Winners of 4 straight here. Lemoyne winners of 3 straight. This is going to be a tight game here. Both of these teams playing for the second. Well, they're both tied for second. 3 games back of the first place squad here in this conference. LIU here ahead of them in the Northeast Conference. But again, 2 of the better teams in this conference. Yes, it was a 69-59 win last time out for Central Connecticut. You're having to lay 4.5 here But if you look historically, at least the last four meetings, Central Connecticut has got it done, 3-1 to the number, including one this year. I'm not going to overthink it. I think Central Connecticut is the better squad. You're laying 4.5 at home, but I'll do it. Give me Central Connecticut here in this one. All right, we got Memphis and South Florida. Memphis 8-2 head-to-head last 10 meetings versus South Florida. Yet we got an 8.5-point favorite here with South Florida, who's atop of the American Conference. Nobody, I don't think, saw that coming this year. Memphis still very much in it. 2.5 games back of the American Conference? I get it. 13-12. I've been playing pretty much 50-50 ball all year. I just have a feeling this one's a little too much. I think Memphis, I don't think they're great. I hate backing them, but I think 8.5 points, they can definitely keep it close enough within this number. Still plenty of talent. Doug McDaniel comes to mind here on Memphis. Plenty of pieces. 8.5 points seems like too much. I'm on those Memphis Tigers in that one. All right, let me check the chat out real quick, and then I'll get into this sneaky game I got for you guys here. Sonny's still in the chat here. Are we going to have games? Are we going to have a few games where we don't have to worry about these NBA teams taking players out? I know. I do expect all the horses to be in the stable really tomorrow, except for the Celtics Warriors. I think Curry will be out, but just about all the superstars should be in first game back from the All-Star break. No excuses. You've had 4 or 5 days off. Get off your freaking ass and play some basketball. But let's get back to college hoops here. We got UT Martin and Little Rock. UT Martin has been a cash cow as well this year. A team that I kind of touched in the beginning of the year, and then I got away from them. I think Southern Illinois loss just stuck with me forever. But I could have made a lot more money on UT Martin this year had I just continued with my early preseason views on this team. Again, top 10 rebounding team in the country. Top 5 defensive team in the country as well is UT Martin. 20-8 on the year. One of the top teams in this Ohio Valley Conference. This is a wide open conference. 6 teams here are 1.5 games or less within first place. So again, this one's still up for grabs, the Ohio Valley Conference. But Little Rock's not one of them. Let me put it that way. Expect UT Martin to get this one done. 7-1 on the road this year, ATS-wise, at least their last 8 road games. Arkansas Little Rock, 5 straight wins at home versus UT Martin. I think that ends here. A lot better UT Martin squad than normal of years in the past. Again, this European flavor they've had, new coach and everything. Give me UT Martin here, minus the 2.5 in this one. We got CSU Northridge and UC Santa Barbara. You look here, CSU Northridge won the first meeting 74-65. Just a helter-skelter type style of play here. Shooting numbers aren't great. Free throw numbers aren't great, but they're going to jack shots up and play at an extremely fast pace. 3rd in the country in pace of play. Scoring about 85 points per game is CSU Northridge. You guys have heard me discuss Larry Hughes II, 19 points per game. Big-time senior guard here for Northridge. I've liked backing this team. They got it done for me there versus Hawaii. Hawaii's still at top of this conference. Don't get me wrong, CSU Northridge here, right behind them, right on their tails, within a game back here of the Big West Conference. So still plenty of things to play for CSU Northridge, a team that's overachieved a little this year. I wouldn't expect them to be this good, but again, I got to keep going to the team that's been printing money for me. Give me CSU Northridge here as 3.5-point dogs. Yeah, I'll take CSU Northridge here in this one. I think they're getting them that dog just because, again, on the road and the shooting numbers do favor UC Santa Barbara. But I think the defense steps up here. Larry Hughes II will be the best player on the court. I love the prop for him over 19.5 points if you can find it. CSU Northridge here plus the 3.5 in that one. There you have it. There's all the college hoops. I discussed also the NBA hoops as well. Here's a little tennis parlay for you guys. Tsitsipas, Kekmanovic, 2 dogs there in tennis. And then the females getting after it here, Andreeva and Anisimova. Over 21.5 games played, I think, here. I can make a case maybe all 3 of those you could take the over. a bunch of tennis competitive games, really. I could see in all three of those. Lean to the dog in the first two. And of course, those two girls, it's basically a pick 'em. I can make the case Animasova goes 2-0 head-to-head versus Andreeva, but I'd rather just get on the over 21.5 as I expect that to go to 3 sets. All right. UEFA Europa League wasn't the greatest today. 0-2 today. 1-1. Excuse me. 3-1 yesterday. Not all those were on the site. Just the Real Madrid I put on the site. But today it was gross. I think we went 0-2. UEFA's league. So treading lightly, but I do like those. Bologna to win -125. Zagreb here, Dynamo Zagreb +115. And then Celtic +0.5. Basically just draw or win here for Celtic, and we'll take it. Taking on Stuttgart. Some Bundesliga action there, really. But should be a nice Europa League as well. So broke down everything for you guys. On the site, how have things been? It's been a while since I've checked in. It's not too bad when you look here. Last 7 days, it's nothing to go right home about, really. But 30 days, to get on the 30-day, 7-day leaderboard is good. We've been really patient. Trying to get back on the year leaderboard. I started off in January brutal. I'm down about 8-9 units on the year, so 3-4 weeks of winning, and we can definitely be back. I'm being a little complacent. You could get that really tomorrow if you went 9-0, but what are the odds of going 9-0, right? So trying to be patient, one game at a time. Look, the Utah parlay came through for us. That was beautiful. Utah there, like that. Should have been a little bit of a sprinkle, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. Look out for this Utah team. I think 8-1 on the road, ATS-wise. Cat's out of the bag with them probably. But there it is. That's the show. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Of course, hit the like and subscribe button. Link in the description takes you on over to Tony'sPicks.com where our best bets are. Sign up for something long-term, 7-day, 30-day pass. You've seen I've been able to show you guys at least a profit. I know it's nothing to go right home about, a unit up in the 30 days, a unit up in 7 days, but that's the type of discipline we have to have, man. We can't always put 10, 12 plays in every day. It's fun when I do. I might be able to do that this Saturday, a great UFC card we have. Of course, NBA, college hoops, everything going on right now still. But we'll stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, like I said, go check out the site, Tony'sPicks.com. Link in the description. Thank you guys very much. Make tomorrow a winning day, and best of luck. Peace.